because we have the regular customers out there, so.
So you went golfing instead of coming to a good meeting. I took your example. I got a speaker here.
Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to call this public hearing to order. We have two public hearings this afternoon. The first one has to do, with receiving comments on two ordinances. The first is an ordinance to remove section 425-41.1 of the Bethany Beach Town Code, and that's a zoning ordinance. And the second is an ordinance to amend section 425-108 and section 425-109 of the Bethany Beach Town Code. That's also a zoning ordinance. And all of these this meeting was noticed, and it was also advertised in the Coastal Point newspaper and on our website and in 5 places throughout town. And I'd just like to, before we open the floor for comment, I would just like to explain that these are housekeeping amendments. There is nothing substantive here. We did go over them with the Planning and Zoning Commission back in October, and they were fine with them. At least they were in October.
You didn't change your mind, did you?
And these housekeeping the need for these housekeeping amendments came to us when we last year considered ground covering, and also we're looking at the pending ordinance doctrine. And the first one, 425-41.1, relates to the Zoning Commission. And as you know, back in 2016, the Town Council voted to merge the Planning and the Zoning Commission. So this section of the code is no longer needed. And then the second one is amending section 425-108. And that came to our attention because of the pending ordinance doctrine. What we discovered was that section 425-108 was based on the section of the Delaware Code, Title 22, I think it's section 304. And in that, it refers to the legislative body as doing these, responsible for these particular actions, and it doesn't mention the Planning and Zoning Commission. The authorities of the Planning and Zoning Commission are in Title 60 of the Town Code, and they're also in Title 22, I believe it's Chapter 7 of the Delaware Code. So we're going to delete the words upon the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Under B, it said that if there is, whenever the town council acts to schedule a proposed amendment to the zoning code, the zoning chapter, it has to have a public hearing in accordance with section 425-107, but 425-107 basically incorporates the legal requirements of the Board of Adjustment to hold a public hearing, which is 30 days, and the section dealing with the Planning and Zoning Commission's authority to hold a hearing talks about 15 days. And the town council. So we're deleting that in accordance with 425-107 and adding a section 425-109, public hearing requirements, and in that we will incorporate the provisions of the Delaware Code that relate to hearings to be held in conjunction with zoning ordinances. So as you can see, I hope that these, Mike, you look confused, but you can see that these all relate to non-substantive changes. They are just all housekeeping rules. So with that, does anyone have any comment? Okay. Well, hearing none, we, do we have to have a motion? No. This public hearing is closed. No, that's a different, no. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And we have 5 minutes before the next public hearing begins.
Besides that,